Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
I got this aggressively average content for you today, and I'm gonna ask all of you a question. Do you guys believe Gary Gensler just signaled to everybody that he believes this Ripple SEC lawsuit is going to end with an SEC loss? He stated that the SEC is going to take some losses, but needs to leverage these high-profile cases to bring people on the right side of the line. So my question to all of you is, in the comments below, do you believe Gary signaled that he believes the SEC could be losing this SEC Ripple case? I personally think he hinted at it. I think he knows that they don't have a shot. But I think he's crazy enough to surrender some power to the crypto space out of pride of trying to take this all the way against Ripple. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Jungle Inc. said it best. Most people assume that Gary Gensler is signaling to everyone that they lost the case against Ripple. Only a fool would take an obvious losing case all the way to the end. Gary is trying to show that he just may be that fool. And I agree, my friends. Gary seems to have a lot of pride when it comes to his leadership in the SEC. Gary is an architect of terror. He wants you to believe that he's crazy enough to fight to the end, so you give him a better deal than he should get. Call his bluff, and I 100% agree with Jungle Inc. Ladies and gentlemen, Ripple is going to set an industry standard. Replacing the Howey test with the Ripple test is going to be what happens in the crypto space. And Ripple is fighting for the entire industry, while people, and specifically the Bitcoin maxis, call for our demise. We over here in the crypto space are making sure that everybody rises. And that is a special position to be in. Ripple and XRP are so special that we're the ones getting sued by the SEC. Our asset is in question, and it's because we are going to be the answer for the rest of the industry. We go through serious litigation, and it's so that the rest of the industry can have the freedom that they deserve. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm calling this video an emergency video because, as you guys remember, a couple days ago I shifted my perspective on the crypto market from uncertain to more bullish. That does not mean I'm doing anything irrational, but I have seen indicators which, in my opinion, lead me to believe that in the immediate short term we could finally have our altcoin season, and it will be a speculative FOMO altcoin season, not a utility bull run. That's a big difference. With a speculative FOMO bull run, we will just reach higher price targets and we will have to sell, take aggressive profits on the way up to secure capital, because afterwards that 70 to even 90% crash for some of your favorite alts will happen. Guys, this is a massive reason why I believe we could be going higher. Gold Telegraph posted Jerome Powell is now saying that inflation could go higher. The transitory inflation call was the worst call in the history of the Federal Reserve, and that speaks volumes. But remember, guys, on this channel, for the past 2 weeks, while the idea of interest rate hikes were getting priced into markets, I was over here telling all of you that I thought a counter narrative could come into play, which made them continue with inflation. It's not like it really ever ended, but now the belief in higher interest rates is gone. I had a feeling something like this was going to happen. And right on cue, a massive crisis so that the Fed does not have to raise interest rates. This crisis will be the excuse for more government spending. This crisis will be the excuse for more money printing. With this will come the inevitable rise of stock and crypto prices. It will be short term because the financial system is imploding, but we have a brief moment in history to act like absolute tactical snipers and savages when it comes to profit taking. And that's the way I'm dealing with the future of this market at this moment in time. The world is collapsing, but here we are, the select few that are willing and able to know exactly what could be about to happen. Here on my Instagram as well, I posted that one of my favorite investors, Raoul Pal, is bullish on a crypto rally. According to Raoul Pal, the crypto markets could expect to see a rally similar to the 2020 bull run. And in my opinion, I agree. I think it will be extremely short term. I do think an altcoin season is at play. I do believe it'll be because of no interest rate hikes. And I think it'll be short-lived, and immediately after, a 70 to 90% crash across the board for altcoins will happen. Remember guys that at the same time, I've been telling all of you that I'm accumulating cash on the side. That is from a couple different income sources. And the reason is to protect against my own ignorance. Something in the market may happen that causes prices to go down, and while I don't expect it, I still have cash on the side. It'll be a weapon I can use to get into lower entry points if I'm wrong on what I'm saying. And I recommend you guys do the same thing as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we win on the way up, and we win on the way down even if we're wrong. That is the way you become a savage investor. It is a very humbling approach to take, but one that guarantees you will always win. Now here, we see from Credible Crypto that we are at the first area of interest on Bitcoin. Think it holds and we get a push to 46k plus from here, and if we do, a number of altcoins are poised to make a nice move across the board along with Bitcoin. This right here is the graph he's referring to, and he states that this last segment of our corrective structure that preceded the third impulse wave from 10 to 60k was a triangle. It would be nice to see something similar here if our bottom is in. Remember, a longer base typically leads to a stronger impulse, and pullbacks on Bitcoin at 38 to 42k are healthy. Currently, we're right around $41,000, and if we can hold that 38 to 39k mark, I believe special things are in store for the crypto market. We still have to wait and see how it plays out. But remember, I'm extremely bullish on the state of our cryptos at the moment, and it's because the Fed was lying. Why you always lying? Why you always lying? They always lie, and it's easy to project what the BS is from the Federal Reserve and the central banks. They always manipulate markets, and then they always find a reason to bring it back up. These people in power will bullshit a way to stay in power time and time again. And the manipulation of markets is their best way to do it. Now guys, here, I want to show you this tweet from Brad Garlinghouse. He states that Ripple and I are unequivocally condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And it's my view that Russia's attack on Ukraine is unprovoked, unjustified, and unacceptable. And because of this, they're donating $1 million to humanitarian organizations, charities, and matching employee donations 2-to-1, and developing a crypto-to-cash direct giving program for aid to Ukrainian families. Ladies and gentlemen, this is important. Ripple is trying to position themselves in a way where the narrative is pro-crypto. Here, Nathaniel Whitmore states it's looking likely that by tomorrow evening, Ukraine has raised more than $50 million worth of crypto to fund a resistance effort direct from citizens all over the world without a single external organization or government involved to coordinate the effort. Ladies and gentlemen, all this is extremely important because it debunks the narrative. It debunks the negative crypto narrative that crypto is being used to circumvent sanctions, and actually is showing that crypto is helping. Crypto is helping in this effort. That is so positive because people like Elizabeth Warren, who are anti-crypto, are trying to leverage this specific opportunity with her uninformed perspective to say that we should clamp down on crypto. Guys, this is extremely important that you all realize. We're in the pivotal breaking point of the crypto market right now, and the decisions made in the next couple weeks about this space will impact this for the rest of our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, Brad Garlinghouse was on Fox Business talking about the Ripple SEC case and the specific state of the world with crypto and Russian sanctions. He was building the pro-crypto narrative. He was building the pro-Ukraine narrative as well, and how crypto has been helping. Debunking that Russia can circumvent sanctions with crypto was extremely important. And here Brad Garlinghouse does just that. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a listen, as I know many of you may not have seen this interview yet.
Joining us now on the set, CEO of leading enterprise blockchain company Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. Yes, of course, Ripple, related to XRP. Brad would know a thing or two about this, along with Charlie Gasparino.
I know nothing. He knows everything.
I know nothing. What do you make of what Powell said? He kind of gave it to both sides.
What did he say, though? Did he say anything?
It's not entirely clear. By the way, I do want to start by just saying that I and the team at Ripple feel so strongly about standing with the people of Ukraine, and I just want to put that out there. But my comment as I listen to some of the things I hear out of Washington is just I fear that there's a lack of knowledge. There's a lack of information about how crypto really works. And I think it does a disservice to responsible actors like Ripple, who are working with governments, with sanctions. Everything that is enforced from a sanction point of view through fiat currency, anything that Ripple does is enforced in the exact same way. So there's no different level playing field. And I think in some ways I heard Senator Warren saying things yesterday that felt like it's holding crypto to a different standard and expecting, for example, a blanket ban of all crypto in some of these countries in a way that you can still use PayPal, you can still use these, some of these other things, and I don't think we should treat them differently.
Ripple is like Swift, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, Ripple's starting point, kind of our first use case for the technology, the blockchain technology, and the digital asset XRP was to solve that cross-border payments problem.
Right.
Swift is quite antiquated, kind of designed 50 years ago. It's slow, it's expensive, but it is a choke point that the governments use to enforce sanctions. My point is, nothing that Ripple is doing circumvents any of that.
So you're following the sanctions exactly? Like, for example, it's like, 8 banks and a couple can still trade through it theoretically?
Correct. The sanctions are applied through what I'll call the choke points, the on-ramps and off-ramps. That's true for Swift, that's true for Ripple. Regardless of what I'll call just the plumbing of how things are moving, the choke points are the endpoints. So I think, when I step back and look at this, I think there is a lack of knowledge. I think people need to understand that crypto isn't this kind of black box. It's kind of back from when it was known as Silk Road. The industry has come a long way.
So an oligarch, or let's just say Vladimir Putin, couldn't finance tanks through Bitcoin.
One of the things that people don't realize is there's just not enough liquidity.
Yeah.
Russia used to trade pre-sanctions $50 billion of cross-border kind of transactions per day. Crypto does not have anywhere near that. So, look, in the same way that somebody could be taking wheelbarrows of rubles or the Ukrainian currency across to Poland and things, there are ways you could do that, but it's really not significantly dissimilar.
Why are they so obsessed with that? It's so weird.
I think it's a kind of clickbait. It's a hot item. I think people, it adds a relevance and excitement around some of these things, but I think people don't understand.
Well, we had spoken to Gary Gensler of the Securities and Exchange Commission. I know you saw that interview because we were emailing afterward about it, but he specifically tried to say that he wants to very much focus on what's a security and what is an actual token, a cryptocurrency. I feel like if that's the case and he's holding you to that standard, at some point he's going to have to go after Ether as well, because Ether and Ethereum are those two very similar paths, just like XRP and Ripple, are they not?
I think that's absolutely true. I don't want to comment on what they should or shouldn't do. I think as it relates to Ethereum, my view is it's very clear Ethereum's a currency. It's very clear XRP is a currency, and that the SEC. I mean, he was interviewed yesterday. Gary Gensler was, or maybe it was even this morning, and commented that, hey, we're going to lose some cases. This is the definition of regulation by enforcement.
He was going to lose. You think he was saying he's going to lose your case?
I don't know what he was saying. I think but he did say, hey, we're going to lose some, and we're okay with that. That's the definition.
Where are you on the case? Let's get an update.
The quick update, on Monday was the last day of expert testimony, expert depositions, etc. And so the case continues to move forward. We're expecting some decisions from the court, sooner rather than later as it relates to a couple of decisions before the court. But look, it's moved slowly. I think Gary Gensler has continued to kind of go with a narrative that crypto is the Wild West. It's not the Wild West. Are there bad actors? Yes, there's bad actors in all parts.
Well, bad actors in money laundering in U.S. dollars.
I found it fascinating from reading the documents for all the stuff they said about how bad it was that you did an unregistered securities. They never say anything bad about your platform. Why is that?
Of course, well, the irony there is, we were in the SEC's offices. I met with Chairman Clayton. I was meeting with commissioners. No one ever once said, hey, we think XRP is a security. And they look backwards and say, now we think it's all a security. That's a hard argument.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about all of you, but to me, this feels like a Ripple victory lap. Gary Gensler stating they could potentially lose cases. Gary Gensler having that interview was massive. At the same time, Ripple going on Fox and having that interview to clear up the sanctions talks will bring Ripple to the forefront at saying, hey, you guys are wrong. You guys are wrong. People trying to ban crypto on the guise of Russia evading sanctions. They don't know what they're talking about. Ripple is a US compliant company. The only thing left for them to go through is this SEC case, and once they have the clarity, we can reign free and begin some utility. Here, the Digital Pound Foundation states weaponizing the payments network is likely to be useful only once. As soon as it has been, it will become a matter of urgent national security to develop means of trading without settling at the Fed or messaging via SWIFT. This was from the Digital Pound Foundation, partnered with Ripple, and in my personal opinion, we're going to power out of the antiquated system and into the new one. No more weaponizing payment systems. That's going to be an interesting thing to look at happen, as over the past few years, we've been talking about this exact scenario. And now it's playing out in a global scale right before the massive financial collapse. What's going to happen next will be the massive financial rebirth we all expected. And guys, what's very interesting is that in my opinion, it's already beginning. Here, Anders Lundberg posted, Tranglo Connect, remittance in Southeast Asia, on-demand liquidity, the new MoneyGram. This is a bold statement, as MoneyGram was powerful utility and a powerful partnership for Ripple and XRP. Tranglo announced going live with on-demand liquidity in 25 corridors, and this could be a key strategy for Ripple in building liquidity for on-demand liquidity. I 100% agree, guys. In the midst of all this turmoil on the planet, this just went live. This is the beginning of a massive flip of the switch moment, and you guys cannot forget that this is going on. While the world is falling apart, this is going on. While the payment system is falling apart and being weaponized, this is going on. One payment system will die. The other is being reborn. It's coming out of the birth canal as we speak. And with that will come the life-changing wealth we all expect. Ladies and gentlemen, here from Crypto Nagato, I'm gonna read this to you to cap off this video for the day. Bitcoin to run up, alts euphoric season, blow off the top, and nasty bear market due to regulations tether a number of reasons will happen. This scenario is a possibility. If we get it, don't forget to take profits and change your life. This is a power plan, and in my opinion the most likely scenario to happen. And while I no longer believe Bitcoin can make new highs and even come close to that 100K mark, I think that it can rise in value up to the $50,000 to $55,000 mark. And if that happens, it will give just enough runway for us to change our lives with our altcoins. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have to wait and see what happens next. But this is the most interesting time to be alive. This is the most interesting time to be an XRP and crypto investor. And don't take these moments for granted.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.